get ideas that way, and then maybe like go to like books and stuff. But I thought it was just interesting how people go straight to articles, friends, books, and like avoid their family.
And then we also like highlighted down here like in Japan like they let their 4-year-olds like and 7-year-olds and 11-year-olds like all just like wander without parental vision to like take Tokyo subways and like walk the streets alone, like completely alone, and like a 4-year-old, even if you're with an 11-year-old, we thought that that was shocking too, because like here like you could never like get away with that. And they also said like if they did it here like they would call child services, like because you can't have a 4-year-old walk around alone, like that's like kind of scary.
Yeah, and like how you told us when you were going to school, you would just take the city or the metro or whatever it was, just casually, like no one would walk you to the bus stop. Meanwhile, here it's like parents have to walk you to the street corner where the school bus gets over. The parents have to walk you outside right in front of the house to like the school bus, and then they have to greet you when you get off the school bus. Like it's just so much now, like in the U.S. that's like more watching over and like making sure your kid like is okay at all times.
Yes, that's what we were saying too, that in Japan, Japan and Norway is more about becoming independent and having to depend on their parents. Well, here's more like, oh yeah, you need your parents when you're at this age. So it's like the ways they raise their kids.
Yeah.
They want to show it from like the beginning all things.
Like I know, sorry to interrupt. Like I remember when I was younger, like my parents wouldn't let me like go to the movies or go to the ice skating rink with my friends like alone without a parent until I was like at least like a teenager. Like they were like very strict with things like that.
Yeah.
So like it's just interesting to see like how different it is here. And then it also goes into like how in I think it was still Japan. In like the other countries they were very like they were very like strict about education and like started them at like a very young age and like said how like they wanted them to go to school like or daycare starting at like 1 years old and like and like we don't really like do that here as much. Like it's not completely focused on education, I feel like it is, but not like to that extent.
And then like the whole purpose of the article was how there is not one like right way of parenting. There's all these different ways and methods, and they all like contribute their own way to help like raise a child, but there's no exact like one specific way to raise a kid.
Another thing that I found kind of interesting too, it was here when it says Dutch parents produce strongly and not pushing their children too hard. And they said that at home they don't teach them how to read or how to write. That's supposed to be learned in school, because if they learn how to read and write before they go to school, it's gonna be boring. They won't have friends. So like that was kind of interesting to see that, and then seeing here how they force you to read and write before you even go to kindergarten.
Yeah. Right, yeah. Even the same thing as like reading and writing, it could be taken in a completely different perspective. Like there, like we need to hold off because otherwise the kid will be bored and learn nothing, right? But in other cultures, they're like, we need to be ahead of everyone else. So we need to teach Johnny, teach Mary
And
before
that
we start.
goes back to the other article